Hello, I'm Eevee Pacini, and this is another little Degrassi Yap Sesh. Not all of my Yap Seshes actually are going to be about Degrassi. They're just going to be about the things that I want to talk about. The things that I just want to talk about happen to be Degrassi. But yeah, I have other interests, and there are other things that I will be yapping about. And if you want me to yap about anything in particular, let me know down below or on my social media, on wherever you want to tell me. Just tell me, and I'll see what I can do. But like I said, today is going to be another Degrassi Next Class Yap Sesh. I would say this one is pretty related to the ones that I've already posted and the conversations that I've already started on my YouTube channel, which are mostly about defending the seasons 13, 14 Next Class era, which I feel like a lot of Degrassi fans kind of chirp on and criticize, which valid to criticize, but I also just like I have defenses. I have my own thoughts and I'm happy to share them. And how I feel like I could have improved on that era. I went to film school for screenwriting and film production. I'm interested in storytelling, basically, is what I'm saying. Very interested in storytelling. So interested in storytelling that I have a degree in it. My degree is in electronic media and film production with a minor in creative writing. So basically, what I'm trying to say is I kind of know what I'm talking about when it comes to character development and plot and screenwriting and all of that kind of stuff. And I learned a lot from Degrassi Next Class and Degrassi when it comes to character and writing, but I also feel like there is so much that I am inspired to like kind of just like see how I would have done things differently or kind of just like shifted things around. It's always easier to do this in retrospect. Like I am not criticizing the Degrassi writers for the choices that they made. Most of them anyway. Some of them are a little questionable and some moments deserve to be criticized, but anyway, that's not what this is about. This is just me kind of sharing what I have observed and what my brain has come up with as somebody who is incredibly passionate about the show and also incredibly passionate about storytelling. That's a roundabout way of saying I'm going to talk about some of the ways that I would have improved on Degrassi Next Class in seasons 13 and 14. A lot of these fixes and like shifts are related to some of my favorite characters. One of them that I've talked about a lot is Zoe Rebus, and you will hear me talk about Zoe Rebus a lot if you watch my Yap sessions because that is that's my Shayla. That's my meow meow. I love her. She's very misunderstood. She did some fucked up things. If you want to know more about my thoughts on like the way that Degrassi writers treated Zoe Rebus and kind of the ways that I understand what they were going for, but also criticize what they went for and how they executed it. I have a Zoe Rebus video that I will you can find it on my channel. Zoe is one that I'm going to talk about a lot. Miles, Esme, Frankie, Yael, just that whole class. There was a lot of potential there and a lot of wasted potential, unfortunately. Since I've already talked about Zoe a little bit, I am going to talk about the Zoe replacing Miles in the Esme substance abuse plotline story theory, whatever you want to call it, that I have talked about and I talked about in my Zoe video. Zoe had a substance abuse issue previous to even being on the show, that was the reason why she got kicked off of West Drive. And then she relapsed after the whole Luke Neal trial situation and got pills from Zig. And I just feel like if they had went ahead and repeated that beat in season one of Degrassi Next Class, instead of having Miles fall down the rabbit hole with Esme, I feel like that would have been really powerful for both Zoe and Esme. I think it would have done similar things for Esme that it did with Miles, but we could have kind of explored her sexuality. I think that there would have been a different connection and different ways of opening up between two female characters who are very similar and who have gone through very similar things, like Zoe and Esme, versus the like conversations and the actions and everything that took place between Miles and Esme. I think Miles and Esme had some really good, interesting moments, but I just think that those moments could have been deeper and just different if it were between two girls. That's just my opinion. I think that female friendship is just different. For female friendship, female relationships, whatever. I think that it just would have been executed differently, and I think that they would have gotten a chance to possibly be more vulnerable. I say this because Grace and Zoe had an amazing connection. But I feel like that plot line really like fell flat because of the whole like Grace experimenting and then not being interested, which is a valid way for the storyline to play out, but I just don't think it like really landed for anybody. I don't think most people felt like it hit. I feel like on paper, there is an interesting storyline where you are experimenting with your sexuality with somebody that you're very close with, and then it doesn't work out, and then like it's awkward. I don't know. I just don't think it worked, and I think it would have been much more interesting to replace that Grace and Zoe plotline with Esme and Zoe, even if Esme and Zoe didn't work out, because they don't have to work out. But I think that Esme's interactions with Zoe in season 2 of Next Class and Esme's interactions with Frankie in season 4 of Next Class really just prove that Esme is at least open and like is most likely a queer woman. So I just think that could have been really powerful. Zoe relapsing on her substance abuse issues and having that intertwine with her kind of figuring out her identity and her coming out rather than Miles having it intertwine with his anxiety and his family issues. He could have still had that anxiety plotline and still had those family issues without getting involved with Esme. He could have gotten involved with somebody else. There's just another way that that plotline could have been executed where Miles didn't have to go down the like self-destructive rabbit hole with Esme that really didn't pay off, in my opinion. Like, I don't feel like his interactions with Esme paid off throughout the rest of next class. He had his like anxiety plot line and his struggle with his family that had been a through line forever. It wasn't really necessary for him to experience the substance abuse, in my opinion. It's just my opinion. I just feel like that switch up would have really improved or could have really improved Degrassi Next Class. That is just like one of the many Degrassi Next Class fixes that I would have had. I also have a million Degrassi seasons 5 and 6 plot lines that I would love to yap about that I am definitely down to yap about. So let me know if that is something that you'd be interested in. Thank you so much to everybody who has watched my first video and to everybody who will potentially watch my second video, which will be out by the time this comes out. I think I'm going to end this yap sesh here. The spirit of the yap sesh is just kind of like coming on when I have some energy and something to talk about. Like I said, not all of my yap sessions will be about Degrassi. I have a range of other interests, including Hamilton, Hadestown, Broadway in general, Chuck E. Cheese, Pizza Time Theater, Showbiz Pizza, Robots, the 2005 movie. I have a lot of different interests that I kind of cycle through. Hunger Games, that's another one. Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Yeah, I have a lot of different interests that I kind of cycle through, and I would love to talk about them, and I would love to connect with people about them. One of the great things about TikTok was that I was able to just throw videos up yapping about my special interests, and that is one of the things that I am going to be adjusting to in switching over to other platforms. So, yeah, that's what I'm trying to do with these. I hope you enjoy watching them. I am enjoying making them and experimenting a little bit with a new platform, a new format of content creations. Despite the fact that sitting and like talking to a webcam and making a YouTube video like this is literally like what YouTube was made for and like what thousands upon millions of people have done and will do and do daily. This feels really new and exciting to me personally. I feel excited to explore this platform more, and I love editing these videos. I just love it. So yeah, I don't think I'm going anywhere. I hope that you enjoyed watching this yap sesh as much as I enjoyed yapping to you guys. Have a good day. Bye.